Hey everyone, it's David Barnett, and I put together a brief slideshow so that I could show you everything that's included inside the Business Buyer Adventure group coaching program. So first of all, what is this program? Well, for years, I tried to put together a group program that would have a certain start date and end date. And the problem is that not enough people were ever able to sign up because of different reasons. It either was the wrong timing for them, or it was too long or too short, etc. And I realized that the solution to be able to help the most people was to create a program that people could start at any time and then leave whenever they didn't need the program anymore. So it's a hop on, hop off group coaching program. And the way that I'm able to do this is that there is a self-taught training program within the group coaching program. So you join the program and then you do what are called the next step modules, which gets you up to speed with everyone else that's already in the group. I'm going to go through the details of this as we move through the slides. Once you do the next step, you join in with everyone else. And the most unique thing about this program is that you get to learn from other people that are going through negotiations and working on deals. So out there in the world, the transactions to buy a private business, all the details are private. And sometimes we hear a little bit about the story, and sometimes we hear about the results, but it's rare to actually see the back and forth that occurs. So some of the things that you will be able to witness when you're in this program, for example, is one buyer we had went back and forth with a seller over the course of a year. Negotiations broke off, they restarted again, and you'll be able to see the actual give and take and the movements that happened as the relationship between these two grew and changed over time. You'll be able to see the actual real life story of a seller who was demanding all cash on closing, and how I coached the buyer to make multiple offers, and the seller actually responded to an offer in which they agreed to finance almost half the business. Okay. And so that's the kind of real stuff that you're going to learn by being a part of this program. And then there's additional exclusive content that we'll cover here in just a moment. So the next step modules, I help you analyze yourself. So we do a personal SWOT, you assess your resources, and you work on defining the target business that you want to acquire. You build up that BATNA, that best alternative to a negotiated agreement, and so that you actually have something to compare before and after with when you analyze each of these deals that come before you. We work on developing your seller presentation, and I teach you how to create those suspect and prospect lists. Additionally, you get access to me. So you get access to questions that you might want to have that are specific to the deals you're working on. And we also do deal review videos. There's a private Facebook group where you get to interact with the other members. So in that group, people will share articles or talk about books that they've read and what they thought about them. They'll talk with each other and support each other. When new members join the group, we do an interview called a member spotlight call, which is a 20 to 30 minute interview where people talk about their history and what their goals are and what their areas of expertise are. See, in the group, about half the people in the group already own businesses, and they're looking at growing through acquisition. And the other half of the people in the group have a lot of valid experience in working or managing in various types of different businesses. And people actually have expertise to help each other. And so we want to take advantage of that as much as we can. We also do something called the expert calls, where every month I talk with a new expert, either about a topic relating to the acquisition of a business or a topic relating to the management of a small business, because everyone in the group, of course, is headed towards becoming a business owner. And so I want to bring resources to help you grow and learn so that you can do the best job that you can. The adventure calls are the open Q&A calls, and this is one of the key features of the program. So every month we do 3 of these calls, with a couple of exceptions. December, July, and August, we only do 2, and that's just because of holidays and things. Anyone can come to the table with questions, comments, or stories or sharing about the deal that they're working on. And this is where we get into the deep issues, the things that we never really stop to think about until we're faced with the problem. And then we coach each other, or I go to my experience and bring forward a story that I can share that can help shed some light on what the direction probably should be to move forward. Great example of that is one of the members recently came to a call, and he had a problem with cash versus accrual accounting in a business that he was looking at. So I was able to share some details of other problems that have come up with other clients in the past where a similar situation has been there. And I was able to give him some shortcuts and tell him what kinds of things he should be doing or asking for now that he's identified this problem. Another example will be somebody who has a question about equity financing, how he can bring partners into a deal, how he can structure a deal without a bank, etc. So this stuff, this is where the real value is, because it's direct advice for somebody actually working on a deal and they need that next step so they can move further along their roadway. And talking about roadmaps, that's one of the things that we include in the package is an actual step-by-step process map of how you go about acquiring a business, whether it's finding one on your own or using a broker. All of this information is compiled into a historical archive. So once you've gone through your next step modules and you're in the group and you're working with other people and you're listening and sharing, you can go back and listen to all those adventure calls from the beginning of the creation of the group. We have a very easy way for you to access this material from your mobile device. So a lot of members will listen to these calls while they're commuting to work, etc. And there's also a monthly updated user guide, which catalogs all the topics discussed in all of these calls. So every month there's a new user guide. You download it. It's a PDF. It has the date and times for all of the adventure call meetings. It's got the update to who, any new members and their member spotlight calls that are in there. It's got updates to the expert calls, so you can quickly see who talks about what subject if you want to go and review some of those. And then each adventure call has a breakdown of what was discussed at what timestamp. So if you wanted to search a topic like seller financing, what you could do is just use the search feature in Adobe, and it will immediately take you to all the adventure calls where that was a topic. Very, very useful, very quick access to a ton of information going all the way back to May 2018. So who is this program for? You need to have done Business Buyer Advantage. That's a 9.5-hour online course. So if you want to join Adventure, just bang that one out. It will give you the base of knowledge and the vocabulary to be able to talk with the rest of the people in the group. So that's a number one. Number two, it's for people looking to buy a small business that they're going to manage. And if your plan is to eventually put professional management in there, that's okay. But most small businesses, you're going to have to run yourself until you have a full understanding of everything going on in there. And thirdly, it's for people who can manage their household spending and savings. If you're mired in debt and you have a major personal financial crisis, joining this program and buying a business as some kind of Hail Mary move to save yourself financially is not really intended for you. Okay? So there are different levels of membership. The basic membership includes everything that we've been talking about. The next step modules, the member spotlight calls, the adventure calls every month, the Facebook group, brain picking on the Facebook group, analysis calls, expert interviews, it's paid quarterly, etc. The deal maker membership level is for people who want a little more access to me. So the deal maker level, you get a 30-minute monthly call with me where I review where you're at and where you're headed and help you with any deals that you're working on if you want some one-on-one time, but mostly give you direction so that you're working effectively towards your goal. And for people who need a lot of access to me, there's a tycoon level membership where over the course of the 13-week quarter, you get 10 one-hour calls with me. So this is for people who are like in the midst of doing a deal and they want a lot of contact and discussion with me on a regular basis. So is this for you? Well, if you think it might be and you're not quite sure, there's a link here, and I'll show you where it is too on the order page, where you can arrange for yourself a 22-minute call with me. We'll talk about your history and background, where you're at and where you're headed, and what your goals are. And I'll tell you quite honestly if the adventure group is for you or not. So how do you buy it? You go over to businessbuyeradvantage.com and you go down to step number 3, which is the training and preparation, and it'll give you access to the sales page, which I'm going to show you right now. So this is the sales page, and it's got a lot of information here, the program outline, etc. And right down here, this is the link for that 22-minute call if you choose to arrange one of those. To make your purchase, you'll see here that there's a monthly, $249 a month. I don't want you to sign up monthly. You really need to make a quarterly commitment in order to get full advantage of this program. The monthly option is still there because there are members from before who are paying on a monthly rate. So you choose quarterly, and it's $537. This is for the basic tier, and this is where you're able to choose which tier you want. So basic member, $537. You can see here at the top, $537 for 3 months. You click subscribe, and your credit card gets charged. And then every quarter after that, it'll get charged until you decide to unsubscribe. If you wanted the Dealmaker membership, you choose Dealmaker, and you'll see up here it says $837. Or if you want the Tycoon, $25.37. So it's as easy as that. You just click the subscribe button. And with that, I'll thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Arrange that call if you think that you have questions or if you're not quite sure if this is right for you. Thanks.